What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are once again working on the Golf R, and I'm very excited for this video because I honestly wasn't expecting it to happen this soon or the way it is, because I was gonna wait to get a nice exhaust and a downpipe later, but I found a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace, as you do, and it'll save me a bunch of money in the long run. So boy math is buy it cheaper now than expensive later. So today we are installing a full turbo back exhaust for the Golf. We're gonna make it nice and loud. Of course, all my cars need to be loud, and the stock exhaust isn't that great. It does have a resonator delete right now, so when I do the comparison of before and after, keep that in mind that this does have a resonator delete already, so it's got that deep grumble to it, I guess, but it's still pretty quiet. I believe the OEM exhaust is valved, so you have to be on the throttle to hear it, but I'll show you what I picked up. As you can see, we went and grabbed an APR valved exhaust, so we got the valves over here. The OEM actuators go over there. Very clean. I think he only had it on the car for like 5,000 miles. He had an Audi S3, which, if you didn't know, the Golf R and the Audi S3 are the exact same car. Same engine, same chassis, same suspension, just a different body. Even the interior is almost identical, but so we have an Audi S3 exhaust going all the way up to the mid-pipe, and then he had an integrated engineering downpipe, so we got a full turbo back exhaust, racing cat, resonator, and two mufflers, and it's valved, so hopefully this will be loud but not crazy on highways and stuff, so we should be all good with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the car in the garage, jack it up, wait for it to cool off because I just drove it to get coffee, so and then we can start stripping off the entire exhaust. So let's do that. Alright, we're gonna start up in the engine bay. The car's on jacks now. I want to start up here because while the exhaust is still pretty solid, I think I want to take off the downpipe first. You can see, let me brighten it up for you guys. You can see the V-band clamp right here. So I loosened that already. It's a 6mm Allen key, and I was trying to look for the O2 sensor. I can't see it from here. Maybe I can see it from underneath, but every time I do a downpipe, I just find the wire for it. I'm pretty sure it's this gray one right here, because that is the only wire that goes down towards the downpipe. So if you trace it back, there's a plug right here. So I'm just going to unplug, unclip, and drop down this gray wire and hope that it's the O2 sensor. If it's not, I will tell you guys later, but my plan is to drop the O2 sensor with the downpipe, drop the downpipe from under. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it upwards. There's not a lot of space up here, so we're going to drop down underneath the car. The downpipe looks like it's connected to the mid-pipe, so it's going to be a pain to get this guy out. We're going to need some finesse and just slowly drop it out. So I loosen this bolt. I'm going to take off the V-band. I'm going to drop the O2 sensor upper cable. We're going to try to pull it out from the bottom. I'll show you whatever nuts I need to take off. I think it's a clamp, and there's a cross brace on the transmission mount. I think it's a transmission mount, but it's got two orange grommets that go into it. I'm just going to drop the whole bracket. I'll show you when we get under the car, but I'm just going to get this guy loose and drop the cable, and I'll show you from underneath. Okay, I just got the V-band off, and I tried to wiggle it, and it did not move at all. And I came over and looked at the new downpipe, and it's got two mounting points that I'm assuming is holding it in place. So we're gonna have to go find both of these bolts in here and loosen them. I think you can see one of them from up here. It's pretty dark. Let's see. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but it's fucking deep in there. So I'm gonna try to get it from the top. I don't know, maybe you can see it from over here, but it's in there. It'll probably be easier from the bottom, so I'm going to go underneath and check and see if I can get those two bolts out. Yeah. Alright, a little bit of bad news. That was terrible. So, the two support bolts, there's one on the inside, so I literally had to come over here, reach down here, and it's pretty much right under the turbo. You can feel the O2 sensor kind of right here underneath my finger, and then a little bit inwards towards the engine is a bolt. So I literally had to feel around in here, put a 13 millimeter, here, this is what I used. I had a 13 mil with a little bit of an extension, and I had to reach down in there, put it on, and then loosen, which sucked. And then for the other one, which is on the outside, was a little bit easier, just because I could see it from underneath. And I had to, once I get under here, I think I went, this is the oil pan, and then, here, let me brighten it up for you guys. So the axle's right here, I kind of reached up under here, and you just have to like fiddle around. You can kind of see it through this gap. You'll be able to see a little bolt. And you have to reach up, and again, same thing, 13 mil, no extension. And you just have to find it and loosen it. But now everything up top is disconnected. So this is the cross brace I was talking about. I'm gonna have to undo these two bolts because I don't want to have to deal with getting the hangers out. I might as well just take off the brace. And then we should be able to drop this guy out. I think it's gonna be a pain to wiggle it out. We might have to take off some heat shielding. Hopefully not the prop shaft. I saw a video and some guy took the prop shaft out. I'm going to try to avoid that. I don't want to take out as least things as possible, so we're just going to try it. I got it out. I did it. It was an absolute pain. So I'm going to link another video that I used to kind of navigate how to take this thing off. There's already like 3 or 4 videos that are out there that are very in-depth, and they show you exactly where every bolt is. It's going to be way too hard for me to get my camera in there, so I'm just going to link that video. This is just me installing it. Absolute pain. I had to take off 2 different heat shieldings, one on the floor underneath the downpipe and one that covers the drive shaft. Both of them ass to get to, like the screws are in horrible places. And then I had to undo the bottom engine mount, undo the drive shaft, push the drive shaft over, and then it had enough space to drop the downpipe. So this is not for the faint-hearted. This is easily the worst downpipe I've had to remove on a car, and I've done at least 6 or 7 downpipes on different vehicles. This is the worst. Gotta love German cars. My Audi A4 was easier than this, but yeah, it's done. So we're gonna take off the O2 sensor, drop the whole axle back on this car, the OEM one, and then we can transfer over the O2 sensor and just throw everything back in and button it up. So I'm gonna get going on that, but I mean, it took me like 2 hours just to get heat shielding off. So yeah, now we're at the easy part. That's the hardest part of the whole thing. So moving on. So I may have skipped some steps because the exhaust is on, the whole thing. It's done. The landscapers came for our neighbors, and it was just really loud. And honestly, there's a bunch of these videos hanging around the internet, but let's go underneath the car. I got the downpipe in, got the V-band clamp, got the whole mid-pipe, and then the APR exhaust catback. It's all pretty much in. It's loose still, but the only problem is, look how long the tips are. That's insane. Why? Like, what is this? That's ridiculous. Like, I put these in where I'd actually want them, and that's what we have. So this must be like an Audi versus Volkswagen thing. So I'm gonna have to mark it over here, measure out like an inch, and then chop these boys a little bit shorter, because what the heck is even that? So yeah, I'm gonna have to mark it up, drop the exhaust, cut the tips off, put them back on. Such is life. Alright, I'm gonna do that. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea where I left off on this video. All I know is I did a horrible job doing the install. And honestly, there's just so many install videos for downpipes and exhausts, but the thing that I struggled with most when I was looking for which exhaust and which downpipe I wanted was the sound. So I am going to try to get in a ton of sound clips inside the car, outside the car. I'm going to try to get my mic right next to the exhaust, get some good notes, and probably do some flybys and stuff like that so you guys can really know what this one sounds like. And honestly, it's been probably
2 or 3 weeks since I've gotten the full thing done, so I kind of know what it sounds like, and I'll kind of put my review in this as well. So I'm currently doing an oil change because the car needs it, and I'm going to go for a bit of a road trip tonight. So I'm going to finish up this oil change. I'm going to go take it for a car wash. I'm going to get some mics installed, get this thing mounted on the dash, and then we can get some driving clips, and I'll show you my review, and we can kind of go more in depth on how the exhaust actually sounds. So yeah, let's get some stuff mounted, and I'll see you in the car in a second. Alright, we're going to start out with a cold-ish start. It's not like perfectly cold, but after the oil change it should be cooled down a little bit. So we'll do a cold start, and then I'll mount this guy in the car, and we'll drive over to the car wash, and I can talk to you about it a little bit and see what it sounds like with the windows up and windows down. Granted, the car wash is right there, so we'll do a little bit more after, but let's do a cold start. I don't think I'll rev it yet. After driving around, then I'll do revs, so this is just straight cold start. After the oil change, I think. That honestly might have been one of the louder cold starts I've gotten, but it sounds pretty good. I think it opens the valves on cold start, so that's nice. See, it just closed the valves right there. You can tell it gets quiet. Which, good job Volkswagen for coding it to have open valves on cold start, because that's pretty nice. Alright. Well, I've never hung my camera like this before. Shut up. I've never hung my camera like this before, so hopefully it doesn't fall down, but hopefully the mic sounds pretty good in here too. We'll drive around right now with the windows up, so you can kind of see what it sounds like with no external sound, just from the cabin. And honestly, it's not that loud when you're not on the throttle, because with the Golf it has valves that open and close depending on your throttle position. I think it also depends on what gear you're in, how hard you're driving. I don't know if it matters. Actually, it probably does matter what mode you're in. Granted, I'm always in race mode, because why would I ever put it in comfort mode? But I'll give it a little bit of beans here. And when you get on it and the valves open, you can definitely hear it. But when you're not on it, it's actually surprisingly quiet, especially on the highway, which is really nice. It almost never drones on the highway if I'm just cruising. Because even right now, if I'm not really giving any gas, I'm just sitting on the throttle. You can't really hear the exhaust. You can hear it a little bit, but it's enough to where you can just talk around in the cabin and not have to worry about it. And so if I have someone sitting next to me, or it's a daily driver and I'm commuting, it's still quiet enough to where I don't have to constantly be annoyed by it, which is really nice considering there's a downpipe on this too. Otherwise it just gets way too loud, way too drony, but then when you want to open it up a little bit, still sounds pretty nice. And that's with the windows up. Granted, I've had a lot of cars with a lot louder exhaust, and I do like it, but for this being the daily commuter that it is, and I'm going to take it on road trips, I'm honestly really happy with the way this exhaust sounds. So it sounds pretty good. It's got this weird tone to it. I like it a lot, but I really wanted an exhaust that was deeper, that you get. A lot of those Golfs have those really deep grumbles you get, which is kind of what I wanted, but I got this exhaust so cheap that I was like, you know what, whatever, it's APR, it's a nice exhaust. And I think the amount of volume that you get out of this is perfect, at least for me, especially because these Golfs, when you put the crackle tune on them, which we will do when I go stage 2, which hopefully will be somewhat soon, those crackles get really loud and they pop like crazy and it sounds like gunshots. So I was scared that it was going to be too loud for the crackles. And the thing is, these valves close on deceleration. So when I let go of the throttle, it pretty much doesn't make any noise, which I think will be perfect for the crackles and like the downshifts, so they're not just like ear shattering loud. But like right now on decel, can almost not hear anything, and then on acceleration they open up again. So I'm kind of curious to see if I unplug them and zip tie them open all the time. I'm kind of curious how it would sound, especially on decel. So maybe I'll mess with that later. But honestly, for dailying it sounds really good. And I think I'll shut up for like a little bit. It might be better to get on some back roads. I'm kind of on the main road right now, but yeah, I'll just drive a little bit here. I got a pretty good sense of the pull there. So it sounds pretty good. I like it. It's got these weird tones I was saying earlier. Instead of the deeper grumble, you get it at lower RPMs where it's kind of deep, but when you really open it up, it sounds almost like a flat 6 or like an inline 6. Like it doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's got this I don't know, the vibration to it, it almost sounds Porsche-like, or like a Beamer inline 6 from the M4 or something like that. I don't know, I get a little subtlety from that. But let's roll the windows down. I hope the wind isn't too loud, otherwise that would suck. But you can definitely hear it more when the windows are open. Might get a lot of wind noise in that. We'll see. I don't know. Might have to just flip around real quick. I hope the wind isn't too bad. It's not great. See, 6th gear right now. We're cruising around 2,000 RPM. Can't hear the exhaust at all. Like, even if I'll put it in 5th. Actually, I'll throw it in 4th. This is 3,000 RPM. Just enough throttle to keep the speed. And you can't hear the exhaust at all. And then right as you put on the accelerator, valves open and it comes alive again. So pretty nice that it does it automatically if you're dailying it, but otherwise it's going to be a pain because you have to like constantly be on throttle to hear your exhaust. So I think stage 2, getting the crackles with the decel will be really nice, but I like it a lot. I can get another pull in right here. Ready? And pretty good to me. I like it. It's higher pitched than I wanted, but I still really like it. I enjoy it. It sounds European. I mean, it sounds German, so, except for Mercedes. Mercedes doesn't count. But I'm pulling up to the car wash right now, so I'm gonna do that so the rear of my car is clean. My rear windows squeak, so that's not great. I need to fix that. If anyone knows what the heck that is from, I think it's just the rubber seals on the rear window, and I need to change them or clean them or something. But I'm gonna clean the car so I can put this microphone on the rear and hopefully get a little bit crisper and louder mic sounds without the wind noise, because I have a feeling that's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll continue. Alright, this is really scary, but I'm risking the camera on the trunk here. I have the mic attached. Hopefully it's not too windy. We're just gonna fucking send it. That was terrifying. What the hell did I just do? Jeez. Well, after trying that, and that was genuinely scary. Granted, I could see the entire camera right in my stuck on the rear windshield, so kind of terrifying, but it worked. This thing really put in some work on that. I'm genuinely surprised. I am kind of curious if I can mount my 360 camera onto that and get some cool shots off the back. Maybe I'll do that, and then I can lay that over the clips I got in this, but this thing looked like it was blowing out the mic. I think it was way too loud for it, so this might be garbage. The camera might be really windy. I have no idea. So I hope these come out okay. If they don't, maybe I'll try to get some more clips and see what happens. But I think I will try to mount the 360 camera and get some video on that, because that would be cool too. But for now, I'm going to wrap up the video here. If I replace the clips, then that's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will link a full install video that I used to walk me through it, because it's not the easiest of jobs. Getting that downpipe out, the OEM one, was a pain. There's so many heat shieldings with bolts in weird places, and it's just kind of a pain. You have to take out the drive shaft and move it to get clearance to pull out the downpipe. I mean, it's just classic working on German cars. I mean, you can't really expect anything less. Everything's going to be a pain in the ass. Doesn't matter what you're doing, so get used to it if you have a Golf, because there's more coming your way. Hopefully the next thing we do, air intake system, we're going to be doing the intake, the muffler delete, the turbo muffler delete, and the like metal U-bend elbow piece. So that way we can get a full clear intake system and get this thing ready for stage 2. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do stage 2 low torque, because I still have the stock clutch and I don't want to replace it yet. So we're going to do stage 2 low torque, get the crackle tune, which will be sweet with this exhaust setup. And eventually, you know, we need to do diffuser, lip, side skirts, all that good stuff. And then maybe one day we'll wide body it, but we'll see. We might go stage 3 before we wide body. I don't know. We still have a lot of stuff to do. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.